Hello everybody, Ankilo Ink here with Joe. I'm doing another card showcase. As you may see, I'm not using how I did the last format, where I did everything differently. I put more editing into it. And that's because I want to save that until I have all the cards done and in like a more of a finished state, because I've been changing a lot of the cards recently. So I'd rather just have that saved for the final card when I've got all the cards done and I'm not really going to be changing them all that often. So I'm just going to show you the cards here in tabletop because it's going to be easier, quicker. I'm just going to be able to get it done and over with instead of spending, an extra 6 hours just editing it all. I can just do it this way and get it done to you guys quicker and sometime this weekend. The second half of the battle video, I haven't edited it yet. I noticed I was doing a lot more battle videos than actual card showcases, so I just wanted to get some cards shown. So I have remade a lot of not remade, but changed a lot of cards, and rather than go over them here, again, I'm gonna save that for when I do a final showcase of all the cards. It'll give me something more to talk about for each one too anyways. One of the big cards though is Dynamo Seed. Aloe Juice has been removed. I was not a fan of its picture. I just didn't like it. Photosynthesis, which is the card coming up, has basically replaced Aloe Juice. The card coming up has replaced its ability. Dynamo Seed has replaced Aloe Juice. And Dynamo Seed just does flat 40 damage. So it's a very useful card for either just dealing some damage or to like a big guy or just flat out removing a card. So these are the first 28 that you've seen. Or first step, I guess. We've got Fungal Slug. And Fungal Slug it's a pretty low stats, 10 all around. And it's just got an ability, when killed, you get to return a plant on the field to the owner's hand. So you could return one of your plants, save it or something, or you could return a high-costing enemy, so they have to repay to play that plant. Yeah. Then we've got Leafwing. Leafwing is a pretty strong card. He doesn't have a lot of defense. Well, I mean, for a level 2, he's got pretty okay defense. He's just a very strong card in general, Leafwing. Very high stats, and he ignores defense of Silver Boost plants. He's, as you can see, a dragon type, and dragon plants are anti-Silver Boost cards. There's only one other dragon plant, but yeah, we'll get to that one sooner or later. Next up, Punish Shell, which is one of my favorite cards to play with. It's got pretty decent stats. It used to be overpowered. Like, it used to have like 65 health and like 40 defense. Like, it was insane. It's a lot more balanced now. It's easy to handle, but at the same time still proves to be annoying because of its counter ability. When it's attacked, whether it takes damage or not, it's just when it's attacked, that attacking plant loses 25 health. So, like, it's just so much fun to play with Punish Shell. You can place it in front of, plants with, like, high attack and high defense. Or not even, just plants with high defense, even. And with any amount of attack are very good against weak to Punish Shell. Because if you're not if you don't have 20 attack or higher to get past Punish Shell's defense, then you're just hitting yourself and doing damage to yourself. So, I mean, that can be pretty annoying. Next up, Jupiter Flytrap. It's a defensive trap. When an enemy plant makes an attack, you cancel the attack, and you lower the attacking plant's defense to 0. So you really want to use this either to stop your opponent from getting a point, or use it on a plant to, like, save it. And, like, the best targets are those with high defense, because then, you're getting the most value out of them. Whoops. Next up, Photosynthesis. It just heals a plant for 50. And it costs 3, and that's pretty expensive. Um, I'm not a big fan of this card. I just think I don't mind having healing on, a creature, because generally speaking, there's like something you have to do to activate the heal. You gotta evolve a plant, you gotta play a certain card, you gotta do something to activate the heal, or it's always just a super tiny amount, like continuously, like 5 or 10 every turn. Photosynthesis is a huge chunk of health for relatively, cheap. You're only playing the one card, and then, so like if you struggled to just do barely 50 or a little more, and then your opponent plays this, that can be kind of annoying. But I mean, there are cards like Dynamo Seed which do 40 damage, which is a lot. I don't know. I like the numbers. It's just that I don't think I really care for the card itself. But then we have Razspider. Razspider is a very useful utility card because it's pretty much one of the only ways to remove equip cards besides evolving a plant or, the plant dying. He's okay on the stats. He doesn't have any defense, so he's easily squashed. But sorry there, guys. I just had to fix something. I changed Razspider's stats a little bit, and I just forgot to update the card. So yeah, this is Razspider. Very helpful utility card. And it's actually got a silver boost. Silver Razspider. Kind of reminds me of a Facehugger. Moving on. When played, remove all equip cards and discard them. So it's very helpful if either you or your opponent just has a bunch of equips and you just want to get rid of them. But then it's got the added bonus of anything equipped to Razspider affects every other plant in its row. So like say you have a Carrot Spear somehow equipped to it, right? That's going to affect, so now the Razspider and every other plant in the row is going to be ignoring defense. So Razspider is a very, even more utility and support than its base form. The only problem is that Razspider itself is extremely fragile for a silver boost, and at the fact that it is a silver boost makes it expensive in its own way, because it's taking up a deck slot, and you have to spend an entire specific turn just to play it. But yeah, if you can successfully play it and get its ability active and using it in some way, it's strong. Next up we have Banana Sword. It's just a flat out, the equipped plant gains 25 attack. Just a very average equipped card. Rebus, on the other hand, he's a plant, so you can just play him regularly, but he's also an equipped card. So you can either play him like a plant, play him regularly, or you can equip him to a plant. And when that equipped plant attacks, you gain 1 energy. So he's a very helpful card if you're playing with high, if you combine Rebus with Dilopho Bloom, they're pretty much the only cards that help you gain more energy during your turn. So they can let you play the more expensive traps, the more expensive cards in general. They're just very helpful all around. Then we have Pequot. It's the opposite of Apple Core. Apple Core has the 10 attack. Pequot has 10 defense. Other than that, it's just a stat card. You can use this to either just block and clog a lane, or to evolve, into something like a Fruidactyl or Troparantula. Next we have Coconut, which at the moment might be the strongest card in the game. He's got max health, max defense, and pretty high attack at 65. It's not 4 level, but I mean it's close enough. Yeah, he's just he's very cool in my opinion. I really like Coconut. He's very strong and he's very useful. He's one of the most reliable level 4s at the moment because of his high defensive stats. And he's got a silver boost to top it off. He's got massive stats if you can silver boost him. 300 health, 140 defense, and 130 attack. Silver Coconut is insane. And he has the added bonus to lower the attack of all enemy plants on the front line by 20. He's just insane. But he's a double star. Something that I added recently to the rules, or changed about, is that some silver boosts, like Raz Spider, only take up 1 star. So, you're still allowed 2 other actions. Whereas other silver boosts, like Coconut, take up 2 stars. So you have 1 other action that turn. Yeah, if you want to know more, go watch some of the battle videos that I have. Probably the most recent one, I think, is when, by the time that rule was made or whatever, changed, however you want to put it. But yeah, so that's Coconut, Silver Coconut. Next up, we have Jester Grimment. He is an Ent. The Ents are all about comboing off of one another. So like if you have more than 1 Ent on the field, they gain extra bonuses. If there is another Ent on your side of the field, this plant ignores plant abilities and floral cards. But on top of that, just in general, he ignores defense. I kind of messed up. Like, I was trying to go for like a very cartoony, like, Looney Tunes, like stretchy body parts, like he can fling his arms and like twirl his legs and whatnot. But I kind of messed up on his leg a little bit, and like it just didn't come across perfectly as nicely as I wanted it. Next up, we have Cab Boulder, which is a very strong, aggressive card. He attacks the entire lane, the entire enemy lane, and he ignores defense. So he can just wipe out swarms of enemies. But yeah, Cab Boulder, very, very good aggressive card. Then we have Strawberry. I love Strawberry as a design. Playing him is a little tricky. So when he's played to the back line, you can attack any plant. While on the back line too, he can't make direct attacks. He's, a very supportive card. He can attack any lane, help chip away plants or just take them out. The problem is he's very fragile. He dies in 1 hit, unless you can find a way to protect him, like placing a plant in front. And even if you do protect him, he's only got 35 attack. So sure, he can take out, turnips, apple cores, your weaker plants, almost all the ones, maybe a level 2, but I mean, for the most part, like anything strong, like a level 3s, level 4s especially, it's gonna have trouble taking down. Moving on, we have Tumble Rush. Tumble Rush went through a lot of iterations. So Tumble Rush, it's a 5-cost trap, the most expensive trap in the game at the moment, and when it's played, you skip your opponent's turn. Now, that might seem very overpowered, but if you're losing and you play this, then you're going to pretty much have no resources to play with next turn. You'll gain 1, and then what? You'll sacrifice, giving you 3 energy, and then play 1, 2 plants if you're lucky. Tumble Rush is very situational. It could be used towards the end of a game to win the game. If you have a lane open and you only need 1 or 2 more points, you can play Tumble Rush and get those 2 points. Yeah, it's just a very situational trap card. And I think there's a lot of fun to be had. Well, a lot of fun for the person who uses it. Let's put it that way. Next up is Peanut Chain. Peanut Chain is another very just simple equip card. The equipped plant can't attack. That's it. It's very annoying when it's used against you, and it's very satisfying when you use it against your opponent. Next up is Silver Starfruit. This lets you search your deck for any silver plant. you show it to your opponent, and put it into your hand. You shuffle your deck afterwards. It's very helpful if you have the base part, the base plant, but then you need to, you know, you need to get the silver boost to actually evolve the plant and, get the better version of it. Next up is crabgrass. I love crabgrass. He's adorable, and I love him, and I love the fact that I drew him shaking around. I don't know. He's just so cute. I love him so much. He's just a stat card, but he's a pretty decent stat card. Weeds have some pretty, oddly, they have some pretty decent, well, they've got some pretty decent level 2s, let's be honest. Other than that, but crabgrass, very cute, lovable. I like him. It's like, I don't really have much to say. He's just a stat card. Cute. Next up, Hydrapple, the only other dragon that I'll be releasing in set 1, which is Flourishing Dawn. While he's on the field, Silver Boost plants can't be played. So, he's a hard counter to Silver Boost plants. He's a very cool. I love Hydrapple. Again, one of my favorites. I love them all. They're all so good. Next up, we have Sweet Angel. Sweet Angel has some pretty decent stats, but to be honest, you'll probably never play her for her stats, or put her in your deck for her stats. Her ability is, if this plant is sacrificed, instead of gaining energy, you can add a 2-cost or lower card from your compost pile, which is your graveyard, your discard pile, back into your hand after you show it to your opponent. She is very helpful if you have, cards that you need for a certain strategy. With a Sweet Angel in your deck, you can play those cards a little more freely because you'll know where they are. They'll be in your compost pile. And B, when you sacrifice a Sweet Angel, you'll be able to get those back into your hand. But yeah, Sweet Angel, I absolutely love her design. She is just so amazing. I think she turned out so well. I'm going to stop it here. I know there's a handful of more cards to show you guys, but I don't want this video to take too long. Expect the other half of the battle video to come out soon. So yeah, that's all I had for tonight. I'll see you guys later. Bye.